Everyone thinks of Monopoly as a game that takes a long time to play. But have you ever wondered how fast you can possibly lose a game of Monopoly if the dice fell just right? We're going to find out in a few minutes here on Legendary Tactics. Everyone remembers games of Monopoly lasting an entire afternoon, maybe an entire day, maybe longer. But how many turns would it take from start to finish to be completely destroyed in this game? Stick around and I'll show you. I came across an NPR article that spoke about this, and I'll put the link in the description below. They did a pretty good job with that one, but I think I did one better. The problem is that I'm a Monopoly purist. For example, I don't play with any money in the center that you get when you land on free parking. I don't play with double go, where the player receives $400 for landing directly on the go space. And most importantly, if you land on a property and you cannot buy it or you choose not to buy it, that property gets auctioned off to the other players. If you're in a two-player game, that means the other player can bid a single dollar and pick up that property card for next to free. Check it, it's in the rules. In the NPR article, they played it so that if a player landed on a property and didn't choose to buy it, nothing happened and the other player takes their turn. But I'm going to show you a way it could happen without breaking any of the rules of the game as published. No house rules. It's not to say that it wouldn't take a heck of a lot of luck to pull it off, but this is a legitimate path to victory, as you will soon see. In fact, I was surprised at how many variations I was able to come up with that would lead to a similar result. Player 1, let's call him NATO, chooses the boot token because he plans to kick butt. He starts off and happens to roll a 5-5, lucky. NATO gets to skip off to visit the jail. In most copies of the game I've seen, there's a man in jail, but he's conspicuously absent here. I'm not sure where he went. Hopefully he has paid his debt to society and is moving on with his life. Next up, another lucky roll. This roll of 12 puts NATO on chance. Drawing the card, we can see that he receives a bank dividend of $50. Not bad for a day's work. But his turn is still ongoing, and I hope he doesn't roll another double. Fortunately, he rolls an 11 and moves on to Community Chest. Flipping that card, he got lucky again with a bank error in his favor and added $200 to his vast wealth. Player 2, let's call him Flash for no particular reason, starts off with a roll of doubles of his own, a pair of 2s. Unfortunately, that lands him on the income tax space, and he chooses to pay 10% of his assets, which is $150. Interestingly, I've seen some recent versions of Monopoly that just charge a flat rate of $200 for income tax. Perhaps the math was too intimidating? I'm not sure. Flash rolls again and gets an 8. This lands him on the electric company. Although it isn't necessary for this example, we will have Flash buy it, as most players would to avoid the auction. Now it's NATO's turn. Luck is with him, and he rolls a 2-2. This lands him on Park Place, which he buys immediately. He's now down to $1,400. The next roll is even more fortunate. He rolls Snake Eyes to land on Boardwalk, and there's no way you could say no to that. He drops $400 and takes the property card. Next up, he rolls a 6 and lands on the Reading Railroad. When we were kids, likely because we were in school, we always called it the Reading Railroad, but I digress. The roll actually doesn't matter too much here, as long as NATO avoids the income tax space. Just for fun, as it is not important for the example, NATO will buy the Reading Railroad with the $200 that he just got by passing go. Before his turn is over, NATO bets the farm and spends $1,000 buying 5 houses for his brand new dark blue Monopoly. It's a risky play, but NATO has a good hunch. After that, Flash rolls a 10 and moves on to chance. What card is up next? Advance to Boardwalk. Flash advances his token there and politely asks NATO how much rent he owes. $1,400. He adds up his money, mortgages his electric company, and promptly declares bankruptcy. That's victory for NATO in exactly 2 turns. Now, I don't know if there's an even faster way to do this, but I'd reckon that this is about the best you're going to do. The NPR article gave some incredible odds of this actually occurring in a game, but I'd love to hear your stories about the fastest game of Monopoly that you have ever played, whether you won or whether you lost. How many minutes was it? How many turns, if you remember? While you're commenting, please take a moment to like, subscribe, and click on the notification bell to make sure that you don't miss any of our other content. And you can find us on all your friendly local social media platforms as well. Thank you so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed this video. Take care and happy gaming from the gang here at Legendary Tactics.